A well-known brand connected to speedsters and high-performance engines is the Musi family. Pat Musi is a well-known name in the engine construction field, and his daughter Lizzy has become well-known across the country as a result of her appearance on Discovery's No Prep Kings program. Pat's other daughter, Trisha Musi, is equally talented and passionate about drag racing, although receiving less attention from the media. Discovering some fascinating details about Pat and Trisha Musi is well worth the time. Pat Musi. Pat Musi is a skilled motor builder. Lizzy Musi's father, Pat Musi, is an expert engine builder with a focus on race cars, especially drag racers. He is the creator and proprietor of Pat Musi Racing Engines, a business that constructs and tunes race engines for a variety of clients, and he has over 50 years of experience. After graduating from high school, Pat opened his own store, Pat Musi Performance, in 1970, behind his father's company. He grew his business over the years, turning it into one of the largest racing engine manufacturers in the U.S. Pat is fully self-taught, and as his business expanded, he learned a great deal about engines and nitrous systems and became an authority in the area. According to a 2004 Aftermarket News article, Edelbrock Corpinas engaged him as an expert consultant. Pat's incredible career consists of more than just building engines. He also knows how to push the beats he practices for competitions. His racing career has been spectacular. From 2000 to 2003, he won 4 Pro Street World titles in a row. Pat Musi is 72 years old right now. Pat Musi was born in the United States of America sometime about 1951. He is currently 72 years old. Despite being a native of Carteret, New Jersey, he has never revealed his precise birth date in any open forum. Furthermore, his family doesn't publicly wish him a happy birthday on social media. Pat had a deep love for vehicles and engines from an early age, and he was determined to make this love his career. Luckily, he was able to launch his firm behind his parents' enterprise, beginning the course of what would ultimately prove to be one of the most significant periods in American drag racing history. Pat started his business at the age of just 18. At 72, he has now established a prosperous business and a nationwide empire. Elizabeth Musi is Pat Musi's wife. Elizabeth Agneta Musi is the spouse of Pat Musi. Elizabeth works for the family business as well, though it's unclear exactly what part she plays in it. She frequently appears at drag races and events with Pat and their 2 girls. Although Elizabeth's birthday is observed on January 22nd each year, it is unknown how old she is in real life. She hasn't revealed her precise age on any public forum, but it looks like she's between 60 and 65 years old. Pat Musi is worth many millions of dollars. Pat Musi is thought to have a $5 million net worth, according to Daily Newscatcher. His profitable endeavors as a race car driver and businessman account for the lion's share of his riches. He began his career in the engine construction and tuning industry more than 50 years ago, developing his family's tiny engine building business into one of the biggest in the United States. Pat is well financially, but he stays off social media to avoid showing off his money. Nonetheless, he is spotted traveling with his wife and their 2 girls to different national events and far-off places. Pat still leads a modest life, despite having established a sizable empire. Musi Trisha. Thanks to her father, Pat, and other industry professionals, Trisha Musi, an engine builder and drag racer, has had a lifetime education in the sport. Nonetheless, Trisha is constantly willing to learn new things and hone her abilities because she doesn't think she knows everything. Trisha has been paving her own path, even if her family gave her a platform to race on and an early advantage in the profession. Trisha Musi declares, "I've been at the track since I was a baby. I grew up in racing, so it's always been in the blood." Pat, a PDRA champion and pro stock drag racer, had a big impact on Trisha. In addition to being an aggressive driver, he was an engine builder who created some incredible engines. Trisha had the good fortune to study under one of the top professionals in the field. Trisha Musi fighting off elite athletes. Trisha Musi competed in the PDRA Top Sportsman competition in 2015, but she was put in a challenging position when one of her sponsors withdrew from the competition halfway through the season. But there was more that fate had in store for her. Mike Bankston, Trisha's fiancé and fellow racer and team owner, discovered her father's old car and knew it would be the ideal match for her. In 2018, Trisha made a stunning return to the racing scene by placing third in NMCA Nitrous Pro Street while operating a unique vehicle named Popeye, which had lain unattended at the Musi shop for nearly 20 years. Due to her remarkable career trajectory, she was included in the 30 Under 30 list in 2019. Musi Cars' Trisha is currently racing the legendary vehicle Popeye, which was formerly owned by her father Pat, in the World Championship of the National Muscle Car Association. Trisha is quite attached to her 1999 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, which is painted a vivid green color. Currently, Trisha Musi is getting used to Double Trouble, a new race car. Despite having the same turbo 400 gearbox Popeye and Double Trouble, the two automobiles had distinct configurations. Double Trouble has a 959 engine with 6 nitrous kits, while Popeye has a 632 engine with 3 kits. Both automobiles have steel quarters and roofs, and the tires are the same size. Double Trouble is built on a Jerry Bickle chassis, whereas Popeye is built on a Willie Rells chassis. Trisha concedes, when it comes to Popeye, it's hard to pick favorites. I adore Double Trouble, but Popeye is just my baby, the author said. It will always be in the top spot. Ardor for sports dominated by men, Trisha has been in the game for a long time because of her love of racing. She enjoys many facets of racing, but burnouts are the one that draw her in more than the others. I keep it a little secret. I adore burnouts. I get screamed at because I tend to burn out too much, she admits. Her path has been made more difficult by the fact that she is a woman in a sport that is dominated by men, even if her family has a long history of drag racing. But she's competitive and successful because of her perseverance and ambition. Later this year, Trisha intends to go from SNRA drag racing to NPK, where she hopes to defeat some of the top competitors. I'm going to defeat Kai. I want to defeat Lizzy, my sister. My goal is to defeat Ryan. I want to win against Justin Swanstrom. On the field of play, they are all elevated. My objective is essentially to be able to remove those names because then I will feel as though I have accomplished something.